In this video, I'm showing you how Alex Hormozi publishes 35,000 pieces of content every year. That's 100 a day, every single day. My name's Timek. I run a done-for-you YouTube agency for B2B service providers, and the whole thing is built on one principle: predicting which videos will book you qualified sales calls before a single frame gets filmed. We helped my client Yanis book 30 qualified calls a month, helped Jonas make $80,000 directly from YouTube and book consistently 10 qualified calls a month, and recently we helped Tim book 20 qualified calls a month and add $50,000 in attributed revenue directly from YouTube. And none of their channels are big. Most of them are under 10K subscribers, which is exactly why this breakdown is very interesting to me, because Hormozi has the opposite problem. They have all the reach in the world. He basically owns the business niche on YouTube. And in this video, I'm taking apart their entire machine from how the raw material gets captured for the 18 people that are full-time on his team and what it actually produces end to end. And I'm not doing it only off the interviews. I actually went through the job boards, the job postings, and found what kind of people they are looking for, what are the requirements. And I've looked into every single interview with two people who were running his media department. And here's the reason why I want to even make this video. Because people are literally paying $40,000, $50,000 like this guy to learn exactly how Hormozi became the #1 business influencer on YouTube and every other social media platform. So here's Michael Lim. He was hired as a YouTube manager, left as the director of media at acquisition.com. And he said that Alex and I alone made 316 YouTube videos and over 7,000 ads. And as a whole, we published over 35,000 pieces of content every year. And I want to put the volume in a perspective before I explain it, because the number is the reason everybody gets it wrong. Most operators look at Hormozi and think the lesson is post more, while it isn't. But you can't see why until you see how much more we're actually talking about. So out of those 35,000 pieces of content every year, that's exactly 96 pieces of content every day. So this just says a lot about how much volume they create with this big team. Now, what's very interesting is that for every 316 long form videos, they've produced 7,000 ads. So that's around 22 ads for every single long form video if we divide 7,000 by 316. You might hear people saying that Hormozi is a proof that organic beats paid ads. But his own director of media says they made 22 ads for every one YouTube video. This is not a content team that replaced an ad budget. It is an ad factory with a YouTube channel bolted on the front of it. So let's take into the perspective what kind of people he is hiring for acquisition.com media team. So right now, when I looked into their careers page, I saw that they are hiring for all of these 6 roles, basically graphic designer, production manager, social coordinator, social media producer, sound designer, and YouTube manager. So they never actually published the org chart, but this is basically a media filter applied on their job board, and you can see that they are actively hiring for 6 people right now. So right now they are hiring the most people for the media team. That just says a lot about how much money and how many people they need on their team to produce content. And clearly it produces the right ROI for them. So you can see 6 people on the media team. Social coordinator, for example, the salary here is 65K to 75K. And this is usually someone who's clipping his videos and producing a lot of the short form. And obviously they are hiring people in the Las Vegas area. Hormozi doesn't really believe in remote teams. He wants all the people to be fully locked in into his office. That's also the case with his sales teams. They're all in the office, grinding it out on site. One thing that I found out, which is very interesting to me, because I haven't seen a structure like this on the in-house teams, is that they pay actually $250 bonus for every clipper whose video is becoming an outlier. So basically, this is just in a performance bonus for them to try to look for the most viral videos, and he's incentivizing all of the people on his team to actually over deliver and not just find clips, because that's something that you can do right now with AI. But these people are specifically focusing on getting as many views on these shorts as possible, and they get paid for it additionally. So obviously, if you're producing so much volume, it's actually just a byproduct of the search for the outliers. That's the whole philosophy that I realized when I was analyzing what Hormozi's team is doing. And I think that it's just genius. Now, quick pause before we keep going. If you're watching this and thinking, I get it, I could talk for a little bit, I can film my videos and produce a lot of content, I just don't have like 18 people and $4 million to invest into a content team. That's generally the whole reason why I'm making this video, because a lot of you might think that you need to post so much content, so much volume, but in reality, all you need is a dedicated YouTube growth partner who will tell you exactly what to film, take over the production, and find engaging ways to package your videos so they get a lot of views and they actually bring you qualified sales calls. This is the same process that we use for our client Jonas, Tim, and Yanis to produce over $150,000 in directly attributed revenue from YouTube. And all you really have to do is just sit for an hour, film a video every week, and we take over the rest. All you have to do is just film. So if you're running a high-ticket service business and you already have a well-performing acquisition channel like paid ads, cold email, outbound, cold calling, whatever, then YouTube is a natural next step for you. And if you want me and my team to help you figure out how to run your YouTube channel like a pro and stop guessing and stop hoping that some videos will work while most of them flop, then the first link in the description is exactly where you should go now, and just book a call with me and we'll see if this is a good fit or not. Now, if you think that Alex Hormozi is spending a lot of money on ads, you have to also consider how much money he spends actually on the content team, because that number is actually pretty big. In the video that you can see here, he said that he spent $4 million on creating content across all these platforms last year. So if we divide 4 million by 35,000 pieces, that's around 114 per piece of content. Well, most of it was just shorts. So a cost for a long form video with an in-house team, it was still around like 300, 400 per video to produce. So now let's have a look at a quick math here, because if you were to hire in-house like Hormozi does, basically you need to be spending around 13,000 to 16,000 on social coordinator, which is basically a clipper, and social media producer who can basically give you more idea onto like what to film and give you more like a strategic direction. So you're looking at $13,000 minimum, right? Based on what Hormozi is paying to his team. Now you can also hire a clipping agency, which could cost you around $1,000 to $3,500 a month. You get 20 to 60 clips a month, 2 to 4 platforms. And obviously this option is like only like 10 or 20% of what would you need to hire in-house, right? So the math here, it makes a lot of sense, but the conclusion is very wrong. Because now what I'm going to break it down to you, like 99% of Hormozi's 1.1 billion YouTube views come from shorts, right? So it's like 91% of the attention, but he actually said that it's almost bringing 0% of the revenue. He's also got 900,000 TikTok followers and probably even more by this point, and 2.5% of his traffic from TikTok. And Hormozi is talking about this experiment in one of his videos where he basically published only business content for 30 days, and then subscriber conversion went up by 24%, comments per view is 25% up, weekly opt-ins to his lead magnets, to his mailing lists, 26% up, and booked calls has doubled. Let me say that again. He doubled his booked calls using only business content, educational content for the entire month. In a return, he actually got fewer views, but he doubled the number of booked calls. So obviously, yes, shorts drive a lot of views, but long-form views is actually way more efficient, way more profitable if you're looking at your content department as a business. And that's exactly the kind of approach we were looking at. We're looking at your content, your YouTube channel, like it's a business. So whatever books you more calls, we only focus on these kind of videos. And based on what we found, creating educational content always beats the lifestyle content, because yes, lifestyle content gets you a lot of views, but it never really touches on the pain points that you need to be touching on and solving some problems in your videos for your viewers to actually take action on it. So if you're making a YouTube video about a specific problem your audience is facing, then it's going to trigger these emotions and open their eyes to some things that they might have not realized yet, and then decide that they actually want to work with you. And that's the experiment that Hormozi did, and it certainly worked. And based on what we do for our clients, it always beats the lifestyle content. Now, have a look here at what social media producer actually does. So translating long-form content into high-performing short-form assets that drive traffic, retention, and measurable brand growth. That's a job function. They hired a person whose literal job is to treat long form as the source and everything else as a derivative. So it's a great moment to realize that with long form, you actually have all the material that you can repurpose to short form, to your mailing list, to your LinkedIn, all of these different places where you can use long form material and provide value. But if you only work on like short form content, there's nothing you can repurpose, there's no conversion work that you're doing, and you're losing lots of opportunities because of not using YouTube as the cornerstone piece of your content. And Hormozi himself, he was saying this for years now. He started making free content to attract business owners to invest or scale their business, which is how we make our money, not YouTube videos. So obviously, because he's attracting people interested in solving business problems, he's attracting a lot of business owners watching his content. That's how he's able to turn this attention, turn this watch time into actual booked calls. And another crazy stat here is that over 80% of their opt-ins came from Instagram and YouTube. So only 2 platforms were generating 80% of his pipeline. So now think here for a moment. So if you're thinking that you need to create more volume and be like Alex Hormozi, who's basically spending $4 million a year on his content team to generate 35,000 pieces of content and hiring 18 people, you think that volume is the answer here, but it's actually not. Having long form content on YouTube as your cornerstone is the answer, because first you can get the YouTube content rolling and already producing good watch time, having people watching you for longer, paying attention to what you're saying, instead of dead brain monkeys who are watching only short form content and looking for entertainment. So if you've been thinking of hiring a clipper or hiring a short form editor, consider first where would you be taking the content inspiration from? Because if you have the long form content, then you can just hire someone or just use AI to take your YouTube content into short form and start producing a lot of volume still by having the actual long form videos, which are doing all the conversion work for you in the marketing and the sales processes. Because if you're paying somebody $2,000 a month to distribute the wrong thing faster, then you're just wasting money and being really stupid about it. So if you're selling a high ticket service online and you have at least 5 active clients right now, 1 acquisition channel that's working well for you, like paid ads, outbound, but you simply don't know where to start with your long form YouTube content, or you want to take it really seriously, you really have only 2 options. You can keep grinding it out, trying it yourself, looking for what your competitors are doing, trying to steal their shit, or you can work with a dedicated growth partner who will handle everything for you and apply the same principles that worked for Jonas, Yanis, and Tim, and many more clients, and not only save you a lot of time, but get you to these 10 qualified sales goals way faster than you would do by doing it yourself.